Respected friends, welcome you all. Let's continue our effort to study the glorious Yoga Vasishtha Maha Ramayana Shastram. Try to understand through that the ultimate reality, make it as goal. Know also the sadhanas, inner and outer. Let us reach to that goal. Let Lord Rama, Vasishtha Bhagavan, Valmiki Bhagavan, all the Rishi Munis bless us, empower us. ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः सच्शास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्मविद्याम् आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीरामचन्द्र परब्रह्मणे वसिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योगवासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यमोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुविघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थं शाश्वतरूपेण अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयाः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ॐ मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहम्। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्री वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने समर समनंतर संस्मृत्यनुभव वर्णनं नाम चत्वारिंशः सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच. So yesterday we saw this Chitta Jagat, Kalpitha for everyone, compared it with the Vana. Pratyekam evam uditaha samsara vana khandaka. So, as long as the realization happens, everyone projects his own samsara vana. Tara kusumita. For his samsara vana, appavo, the taras are the kusumas of the trees, flowers. Neela mega chanchala pallavaha. The tender leaves are the Neela Mega Chanchala. So, here the whole Vana, Samsara Vana, the whole Jagat which is projecting. So, in the Vana, the Kusumas are the Taras. In the Vana, the Pallavas are the Neela Meghas. So, to Charan Naram Mruga Kina, many Mrugas are moving in that forest. They are variety of the human beings. Then Surasura Vihangamaha, in that forest lot of birds are flying. The Sura Asura are the Vihangamas. Then Aloka Kausuma Rajaha, the Alokaha, the light that is there, Prakasha, is the pollen grains of the various flowers. Chamak dhamak light ki tarah dikhte hain. Then Shama Gahana Kunjakaha, see the darkness, the night, which we see in the Jagat is in the jungle, that Gahana Kunjakaha, the Kunjakaha, the creepers, so much spread within them, the deep darkness. Then Abdhi Pushkarini Purnaha, small Pushkarini is there in that Narayana jungle. Vana is nothing but the oceans here. मेरवादी अचल लोष्ट कहा. In the jungle, इधर उधर पत्थर आपको दिखेंगे. In the whole world, they are the मेरवादी पर्वतास. Then चित्त पुष्कर बीज. The chitta itself is the pushkara, uh, uh, the lotus, and antar nilina anubhava ankuraha. Then various ankuras in that, what do you call, the pushpa are the bijas that are there in our chitta for further projection. In this way, this continuous samsara vanakhandakaha is pratyekam evam udita. Pratyekam means for every individual, in every of his janma, in any of the yonis, he will go on projecting it, taking it as real out of the two reasons we saw yesterday, the ignorance of real self and then the vasanas, the samskaras, the habits of projecting like that. Vasanas are there, the habits are there. Vasana themselves are called as samskara. They push him to project like that. Like I have vasana samskara that I am a doctor. So morning when I get up, those samskaras push me to be a doctor only. If I am lawyer, like that. Whatever samskaras that are there, they push me to identify with that. So too, I already have the samskara of how to see the world, etc. Otherwise, the world with its Rupa Nama projected. Is it existing other than the reality? I too, with all my every personality level, at every of its, micro minute part too, can they exist without the Sat and Chit? Therefore, other than Sat and Chit, what is there? Nothing. But how we are seeing projected in our Chitta. The Shuddhata Paramatma Tattva not known, called as Avidya, and then the sufficient samskaras to project this Jagat. See the clarity. then slowly reducing samskaras, reducing giving the value to this world, only vyavahara value, not the utility or bhoga value, quietening the mind, pierce through all the jati, dravya, guna, kriya, nama, rupa, or all the annamaya, pranamaya, manovijnana, andamaya koshas, or stula, sukshma, karana, sharira, pierce through them, or go beyond the sattva, rajas, tamo, guna, or go beyond all drushya and drashta dvaita. Any paddhati you follow will reach the reality. That reality already said as the chitta, pure consciousness. Just to make us little understand, a familiar example is given that of akasha, therefore it's called as chidakasha, the infinite conscious space. Akasha known to us, therefore, if we tell in the known words, we may understand, an idea can come to us. Akasha infinite, the self infinite. Akasha niravayava, self is niravayava. Akasha supports all the Vayu, Agni, Jala, Prithvi in it, yet not touched by them. Though so Paramatma supports the entire universe, yet not touched by it. These are the similarities. But one difference is Akasha is Jada, the Paramatma is Chaitanya. Another is Akasha is the concept of the Chitta, the self is even beyond the Chitta. When the Chitta goes to sleep, Akasha is not there. But even when Chitta goes to sleep, the sleep avastha also is illuminated by the eternally present Chitswarupa. That's why from sleep when we get up, I don't know Desha, I don't know the Kala, I don't know Vastu Vyakti Anubhuti, but I only know this much, that there was nothing and there was happiness. How do you know? Consciousness illuminated. That chit we have to know. Okay. Now we have to see from Chavanva mantra. Today we'll try to finish the whole sarga. Om yatraishamriyate jantu jivaha tatraivam pashyati kshanat pratyekamuditeteshvevam jagat khandeshu bhurishaha. So yatra esha mriyate jivaha. Whoever the jiva with whatever samskaras he dies. Okay? Tatra evam pashyati. This is how he projects kshanat. In a moment's time only, micro time. Pratyekam uditeshu jagat kandeshu evam bhurisha. In this way, for everyone, he has got his own world to project. It appears that the people are living in same world, but only in some places, some conditions. And if you clearly, deeply see, no two people are staying in the same world any moment. Like my family stay this house from last 5 years. It's just without thinking said sentence, which when accepted doesn't make any difference. Otherwise, no two people can stay at one place. If the husband is in the hall, the son is there in the kitchen or somewhere else, कहाँ तुम दोनों इकट्ठे हो सकते हो ही नहीं सकते. And the house itself is not same. Every day it is changing continuously. कुछ ना कुछ रिपेयर होता है, कुछ ना कुछ पेंटिंग होता है. Going on, how do you say same house? It's just accepted because it doesn't harm. It doesn't make difference. But going to the facts, each one sees the house or the world in his own way. Isn't it? Think about it. My chitta, according to that, I see the world. Even if I go to a party, the 100 people, there is not one party happening. There is 100 people, 100 parties are happening. Each one looking in his own way. Not the same. Please remember. Someone comes for eating the food, other comes for meeting the people, other one comes for striking the business, other comes because of fear, somebody comes out of obligation. And in that mode only is always, as long as he is there, isn't it? Think about it. Others dress देखने कोई आते हैं. Somebody comes to ढूंढो the dulhan for his beta or dulha for his beti Each one coming his own way. Out of respect, somebody comes in that party. Somebody comes to cook the food, somebody to serve, somebody to clean the table, somebody comes there to make the decoration. देखो कोई कैमरामैन कैमरा शूटिंग करने आता है उसका पर्पस ही अलग है. How come you say the same party is there? Each one has different things. Each one doing different, talking different, thinking different, observing different. कितने differences हैं तो कैसे कहते हो एक ही है वहाँ. The स्थूल place is one, but that also, as we said, continuously changing. Every moment it is changing. It's not same. Changing drastically if you can observe. How many inhaling, exhalings happened? How many mosquitoes or by insects have died there, stampeded by the people when that party is in the grass? How many of the grass blades themselves died? How many leaves have fallen from the tree? You can't say it is same. This world is continuously changing. To make this point understand, these many examples are given. Not only changing, it is chitta kalpita. And the why the leaf has to fall? The chitta of the jiva who is stationed in the tree. It is his will, it's his sankalpa. The leaf itself is a jiva, an individuality. You can see solidly it's an individual. उसके अंदर भी, even in a mildest form, an individuality is there. It has to hold on to the branch for such time, then it will have to fall. अब देखो, these are all not to exaggerate or oversay, only two things. One, it is chitta kalpita. Second is, it is not the same. When it is not same, then how can it give us the same anubhuti continuously? It cannot. That's how we, if you don't understand, we worry. But my wife used to love me so much. Now she doesn't love. Are she has children. No, she have to take care of them also. She can't be same. She has grown. She understood his useless fellow. No use of loving him. She realized she might have become some sadhika. कुछ साधना करने लगी होगी उनके time of maturity has come in her chitta, isn't it? Arey, if you same happening with you, you think about your wife, somebody else is thinking about you, isn't it? Others are thinking, अरे ये तो कल तक उल्लू था अब तो गधा बन गया. They think they also have opinion about us. He was like this yesterday, changed. And we don't feel so. We don't consciously put effort. In course of the chitta expression, it keeps on happening, it isn't it? So understand it. Yatra esha mriyate jivaha. Wherever the jiva is mriyate, tatra evam kshanat pashyati. In this way, samsara vana khandakaha, he projects and visualizes. Pratyekam uditeshu evam jagat khandeshu. In this way, for everyone and every time, the jagat khandas are being projected bhurishaha uncountably, infinitely. See, the chitta is not same to me every minute, every day. So the world projected by me also not same. What wishes yesterday I had, today I don't have. Yesterday I had the interest of having a fruit juice. Today I have interest of having some cold drink. Tomorrow I'll have only lassi pineka. It's not the same word. Observe करना पड़ता है. Then in the same way, as it is said about you and I, Kotayaham Brahma Rudrendra Marud Vishnu Vivasvatam Giri Abdhi Mandala Dvipa Lokantara Drusham Gataha. In this way, for each of the being, Karodo Brahmandas with Karodo Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara, Karodo Indradi, Vayu Adi, and Karodo, Giri, the mountains, Abdi, the oceans, the Mandala, the different Mandalas, the Vo Mandala, the Chandra Mandala, the Surya Mandala, the Graha Mandala, the Nakshatra Mandala, the Tara Mandala, and the Vayu Mandala. If you go again, Shishumara Mandala, then Dhruva Mandala, this is how the Mandala zones are there. Mandala, then Dvipa, the various Jambu, Plaksha, Shalmali, Ityadi, Dvipa, Lokantara, then the different lokas, the Yaksha, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Gandharva, Siddha, Sharana, Naga lokas, they're all there. Then Drusham Gataha, they are visualized. In general, he said. Again, in this, no two people have the same projection. You know, if you are told to imagine about Bhagavan Nrsimha, 10 people, each one will do the Chitta Kalpana in different way. Or any other thing if it is told. Imagine the Himalayan range of mountains. So each will project differently. One will see only greenery more, other will see the snow-clad mountains more, other will see the snowless plain mountains. अरे ऐसा क्यों हुआ? The one was seeing greenery, he might have gone there during rainy season. The full of snow, the one who has gone in the winter season. तो ये जो पहाड़ है बिना बाहर पके, he might have gone there गर्मियों में, isn't it? Or in his own chitta, that must be the way he has visualized those samskaras he has got. Then next one. In this way, Kotaya Brahma Rudrendra Marud Vishnu Vivasvatam Giryabdi Mandala Deepa Lokantara Dusham Gataha Yataha Yasyanti Yanti. Yataha in the past, Yasyanti in the future, Yanti in the present. Etaha Drushtyaha. This type of Drushti means Kalpita Jagats. And one underlining common thing about all of them is what? That's what we are talking about last 10 minutes. Nashta Rupinaha. A typical word used by Vaashishthaji, which is so painful to understand, but so relieving if we understand. Painful while understanding, so relieving after understanding. This word, Nashta Rupina. Nashta Rupina means what? They're already destroyed. He is talking in the present, past tense language. Drishtayaha Nashta Rupinaha. They're already destroyed. It's only a question of the time. It's a question of time that they have to become oblivion, freed from the Rupanama. Otherwise, they are Nashta Rupi. Because in that the Kala is already entered doing its work of destruction. It's very painful to understand. But the fact, when you understand the relief that you won't trust anything, you won't insist anything to be permanent, that relief is enormous. And don't think anything emotionally negatively once we enter into the Vedantic intellectual understanding. Isn't it? Emotion सोचोगे तो बहुत नहीं बनता. In the Vedanta, you'll never be accepting it. Let us say somebody made a beautiful building. New building. Gruha Pravesh bhi nahi hua. It is Nashta Rupina. From the Vedanta standpoint, it is already destroyed. Only question of maybe 200 years it will be there. In that time, 3-4 generation rahenge. But it is already Nashta Rupi. How painful it is to understand if you see emotional. But it's a fact. जैसा आप कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो समय एंटर कर रहा है उसमें ओनली वन वर्क ऑफ समय इज आफ्टर कंस्ट्रक्शन डिस्ट्रक्शन समय इटसेल्फ गिव द कंस्ट्रक्शन द काल काल ही खुद उसको नाश भी करता है एवरीथिंग सम स्मॉल चाइल्ड क्यूट बॉय नष्ट रूपिणा मे भी 80-90 साल जिएगा वो उसके बाद जाएगा ना दैट्स व्हाई द चाइल्ड इन इंग्लिश they are called how old he is. My baby is only 6 months old. They say old means the time has eaten away 6 months of him. Only 60 हो जाएगा 70, 80, 90, 95 हो जाएगा. So what? So to let's zoom करके देखो the entire भूमि. You may calculate according to the science that the Bhumi is 10 lakh year old, 20 lakhs year old. They go on saying I don't know what parameter. But for us, Nashta Rupina, Vedanta mein, a time comes when the Prithvi's purpose will be over, it will be dissolved. See, when you think at the macro level and are able to withstand to that high thinking understanding, all the micro becomes meaningless. If not, the micro becomes so important, you can't zelo them. What to talk about the macro, bigger ones? है ना। जैसे युद्ध के लिए, देश को बचाने के लिए युद्ध में कोई जान ही छोड़ने को तैयार है, रेडी टू डाई फॉर द कंट्री, इज ए मैक्रो. देन फॉर हिम ए लिटिल चोट इधर उधर लगा इन द वार, डू थिंक ही विल बॉदर अबाउट इट? व्हेन ही इज रेडी इवन टू डाई फॉर द नेशन. In that way, nashtarupinah word being important, we gave sufficient thought. Drishtayah nashtarupinah yataha yasyanti yanti. Gone, going go, will come and go too. Ya brahmani upabrahmadyaha. On pure Brahman, they are upabrahma. Brahmanat Brahma. On pure Brahman, in the inability of stationed in an identity with that Brahman, these are all projected. Ke ganaitam kshamaha. And who can count in this way how many worlds or the universes are every moment projected and rejected? That is what it is happening. Ha ha. How many? Now these many soldiers died. Each one projected his own world posthumously. He is staying in that. At that very moment, क्षणात बोला ना ऊपर, हो गया. एवं कुड्यमयम विश्वम नास्त्येव मननात् अरुते मनने चलमेव अंतः तदिदानीं विचारय. So, evam, in this way, kudyamayam vishwa, solid like a wall looking this vishwa, kudyam is divar, wall. The wall like solidly looking this vishwam, na asti eva. See that example given intelligently. Wall like vishwa. Wall, though standing, is not real. It's made of bricks and all of that. All of them came from the earth or the water, etc. पीछे चलते जाओ, all of that is prakriti projected. Prakriti never is there in the pure Purusha. Purusha always is there. Therefore, nasti eva. If you go into the cause of the solidly looking this wall, you enter into it being not there only. But when I touch it, it is there. When I hit my head to the wall is broken, you know. This head also is not there. Otherwise, why will you hit to the wall? It's a proof that you don't have head. And the second proof is it is broken, the wall and thereafter head. Because when you break the wall with your head, the owner will break your head with the wall. So even this also another projected one. Then the dashing is projected, the pain also projected. It's all a part of the total Chitta Leela. This is a beautiful sentence. Evam kudyamayam vishwam na asti eva mananadrute. Mananad means other than your own chitta projection. Okay. Manane chalam eva antaha. This manaha also nirantara chanchala svabhava. Therefore, what it's projecting is continuously changing also. Tat idanim vicharaya. So you take your time and start doing the vicharana about this seemingly solid, seemingly realistic, continuously giving various अनुभूतिस. ये वाला जगत का थोड़ा सोचो. Two sentences only, not three. One sentence is the entire jagat is in the chitta. The second sentence is the chitta itself is unreal. Therefore, chitta vasana, sankalpas are themselves are unreal. Then the chitta kalpitha jagat with all its seeming solidity, not real. Then what is reality? That which is eternally immutable, birth, death, changeless, the pure self, which can never be objectively seen and like any object of the world shown, nor it can be understood intellectually. एक सीमा होता है इंटेलेक्ट का भी अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए अबाउट दैट परमात्मा. वट एवर इंटेलेक्ट अंडरस्टैंड्स अबाउट परमात्मा इज ओनली इन द तटस्थ रूपेण, व्यतिरेक रूपेण, अन्वय रूपेण. You may use the word Satta Chitta Ananda, but that Satta also Tatastha Shabda in contrast with the Asat. Chitta also is Shabda in contrast with the Jada. Ananta also is a word in contrast with the Sa-anta. Ananda also is a word in contrast with the dukkha, isn't it? These words also are only dependent words. On these words is not dependent the self. Self is experiential. The nearmost explanation of the self for the intellect to hold on to are these words. ये सारे शब्द परम तत्व को बुद्धि में धारणा करने के लिए उपयोग किए हुए शब्द, और वो परम तत्व इन सब शब्दों के बावजूद भी या द्वारा भी बुद्धि से धारणा किया नहीं जाता, वो बुद्धि का भी अधिष्ठान है. All knowing is done by Chidavasa Yukta Hantakarana. The self is that which is giving even Chidavasa to the Chitta by its own reflection. Self is reflected at his Chidavasa, which becomes the knower. Right? So therefore, nobody can anytime say they have known the self. When somebody says known, the other fellow also understands in what way he is saying. If he truly knows, and the one who said he also knows it, they nod their heads. They say that you are saying that which cannot be said in the words. I also understood, which cannot be understood by the intellect. But baat ban gaya. Like शॉक लगा दोनों को बिजली का. अब कैसा है? What did they say each fellow? लगा तेनो लगा, तेरे को भी लगा, अब मेरे को लगा. अब there is no exchange of further word sentences. कि वो मीठा था, was it sweet, or was it bitter, or was it cold or hot? What do you say for a electric shock? You can't say. You also have to put the finger and you will experience direct. There is no other way. Pratyaksha anubhuti, electricity yoga, you can have it. In the same way, the Shuddha Atma Anubhuti is beyond all the vrittis of Chitta, Shabda, Sabdi, Mukha. Understand it. Next, Evam Udyamayam Vishwam Na Asti Eva Mananat Rute. Means, other than the projection of the Chitta, the solid looking Jagat is never there. Manane Chalam Eva Antaha. And this mana inside always is Chanchala. Therefore, the words go on changing. Tad idanim vicharaya. Now, Rama, take your time to contemplate on it, to ascertain the nastitva, chanchalatva, kalpitatva of this jagat. All these three words you can say, but asti that you can't say. Satyam that you can't say. Sukhaswarupam that you can't say. When I get that word, I become sukhi. All these are delusions, misconceptions. Based on the first misconception that the Jagat is Sat. Okay. Then Yadeva Tat Chidakasham Tadeva Manasam Smrutam Yadeva Chidakasham Tadeva Paramam Padam. Slowly, Vaashishtha is coming to the point from where he started. Ki Yat Eva Tat Yadeva Tat, whatever you see, Chidakasham is a pure Chidakasha only. Tadeva, that itself, when objectified, manasam smrutam, it's called as mana or chitta or antakarana. Therefore, Yadeva cha Chidakasham, that Chidakasha alone, Tadeva, that alone is Paramam Padam, the supreme state of being, supreme reality, supreme Sadvastu. Both sentences are so clear. Yadeva tat chidakasham. Tadeva manasam smrutam. Yadeva cha chidakasham. Tadeva paramam padam. So the chidakasha, not known, projects the mind. The mind projects the never existing, the world. When the chidakasha is known, that alone is there. Other than that, there is no jagat, no chitta. Therefore, that is the paramam supreme padam, state of reality or being. अत्यंत स्पष्ट शब्द है कि नहीं देखो. राइट. सेम वे यदैवाम्बु तदाकाशम तदेव मनसं स्मृतम दृष्टैवास्ते दृश्यमिव दृश्यम न त्वस्ति वस्तुवत्. यदेव अम्बु, whatever is waters, that alone is there as the whirlpools, the waves, the bubbles, the ripples, the foam and the froth, whatever you see them, is not basically they're all ambu, the jala, not basically. Truthfully, it is water only. Catch this point. Yadeva ambu. Both ways. It's a water alone seen as whirlpool, etc. Any whirlpool wave you see, bubbles, that is never anything. In its reality, real, other than the jala. So, yadeva ambu. Yadeva ambu means other things you add, the whirlpool, etc. So, to here, tada akasham tadeva manasam smrutam. In the same way, everything is Shuddha Chit Swarupa Akasha Chidakasha only. Tadeva, that alone is manasam smrutam. It is taken as the mind. Not knowing self projects the chitta. Chitta has the power in it to project the world. It is project only, not real. Then drashta eva aste drishyamiva mast tataye. The drashta alone is appearing as a drishya also because the substratum of drashta, substratum of drishya both are one adhisthana only. Chitta. For the chitta, one adhisthana only, the Brahman. So conscious Brahman self objectified is chitta. Chitta dualized, dichotomized is the drashta drishya. And this drashta plays cricket kabaddi with the drishya. Like in dream. One waking mind only in the dream, God projected as the dream world and dream person are not. Then this dream person in the dream world running to eke out whatever sukha he wants through various things. But both of them are projected on the waking mind. So too, I am the drashta of this jagat. The jagat is drashya to me, drashta. Both of them are substratum is the one self only. On him only these two are projected. That is what drashta eva aste drishyamiva. Therefore, drishyam na asti, na tu asti vastuvat. Vastava rupena, the drishyam nastyeva. Here, drishyam nastyeva vastuvat, drashta eva drishya rupena drishyate. A little thought on this as we studied in Mandukya Upanishad, Vaitatya Prakarana exhaustively, that when something is not there without being seen by the Upakaranas, that means if something doesn't exist independently, it is equivalent to not there. Then, whichever seeing it, that alone is this. So, if the chitta is not there, then senses are not there. Therefore, senses are by themselves not there. Chitta classified alone is sense organs. So, too, when the senses are not there, the outer world of Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha cannot be there. Therefore, the Shabda Sparsha are nothing but objectified, classified the sense organs only. शब्द स्पर्श और रसगंध और इंद्रियां एक ही है इंद्रियां ही चित्त अंतःकरण है and chitta antakaran cannot be there without self. Therefore, self alone mistaken is chitta. Chitta mistaken is indriyas. Indriyas mistaken is the outer jagat. Drashta eva aste drishyamiva. The beautiful thing is na drishyam na tu asti vastuvat. In this way, if one understands and rejects drishya on the seat of meditation, the corresponding drashta also gets dissolved. Then, what was that which was taken as drashta and drishya? The eternal self cognized as myself, obviously. This is how this beautiful sarga is giving us sublime ultimate knowledge. Even at the level of information, also we gather it. That's a good beginning. Then ponder over it, contemplate on it, ascertain it with all your yuktis, logics, etc. Take your own time, come to conviction that what is said here is right and what is said is Chidakasha alone is Satya. The Chittakasha, Chitta Jagat. Bhutakasha, Bhuta Jagat. Both are projected on. Once ascertained, convinced, then that's not the end of it. Then reach to that Chidakasha Tadatmya. Then our own limitations, which are there because I identify with Chittakasha, become Jiva, identify with the Bhutakasha and become the gross person of the world. These are the bondages, they are all transcended. चिदाकाश से तादात्म्य करने से the pure conscious infinite space. Everywhere it is there. Even when this space is not there in Nidra, still it is there. Chittakasha functions in dream. Bhutakasha functions in the waking. Chidakasha is always there, but realized when we transcend the Bhuta and Chittakashas in our sadhana. Next, Chidvyomno Bhutanabhasi Kachanam Yanmaneriva Tat Jagat Bhavina Nasat Tattvam Shabramivambare. So, Chidvyomnaha, in this Chidvyoma, Chid Akasha, Bhutanabhasi Kachanam, in the Chidvyoma, the Chittakasha and Chitta Bhutas. Then the Bhuta, Chitta Jagat. Then Bhutakasha and Bhuta Jagat. Both of them, Kachanam yan Manehe Iva. Like from the Mani, the Indrajalika, he, uh, with that money only, with some piercing holes made in that, project such funny things to appear only, though they are not at all there. In the same way, tat jagat bhavina na nasat tattvam shwabhramiva ambare. Like in this Chidakasha, this Maya itself is expressing all these to appear like the Indrajala. Today we have seen those three things very thoroughly in our afternoon class of Mandukya Upanishad. यथा स्वप्नमयो जीवः जायते मृतेऽपि च तदा जीवामि सर्वे भवन्ति न भवन्ति च यथा मायामयो जीवः जायते म्रियतेऽपि च तथा जीवा अमी सर्वे भवन्ति न भवन्ति च यथा निर्मितको जीवः जायते म्रियतेऽपि च तथा जीवा अमी सर्वे भवन्ति न भवन्ति च. Conclusion: न कश्चित् जायते जीवः सम्भवोऽस्य न विद्यते एतत्तदुत्तमं सत्यं यत्र किञ्चित् न जायते. Tomorrow that shloka will say in the Mandukya. Here also same. Tat jagat bhavina nasat tattvam shabbaram ivambare. Like Swabram iva ambare in the Akasha. Chidakasha only, all these are in our ignorance projected and maintained, sustained. And as long as we sustain, maintain that satyata given to this kalpita, so long it tries to be, it seems to be there. It seems to be there. The moment we reject them and realize self, self alone remains. So, okay. So, tat jagat bhavina nasat tattvam shwabram ivambare. So, in this Siddhakasha only, interesting point in between stages, the ones who recognize or project the worlds, those individual jiva bhavas also are projected in the Chidakasha. And at the highest level, the jiva, you and I, with all our knowledges, abilities, consciousness, we are also, I don't know how to convey, I'll try to tell, you may understand it. They are also AI only. Today we talk about AI, and whatever we have I, that also AI only. The real I is only pure conscious self. Conscious self reflecting in the Ahamruti is the Chidabhasha. Chidabhasa Yukta Aham is the knower. Therefore, I, the knower, am able to know only because of not my intelligence, but the projected intelligence. It is not real. When it is not real, it is projected. We in Vedanta call it as projected. There in the science they call it as artificial. हम सब आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से काम कर रहे हैं और उसमें और एक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आया टू डिस्ट्रॉय ऑल आवर इंटेलिजेंस after 50 years or 20 years. Everything is done by the AI only. Cooking, massaging, giving bath, ironing clothes, driving the vehicle. Then by the time this human being's head becomes pura sad jayega wo. Because he's not using it. Even though now also he's not using. Everything is done by machinery. Some servants they do and we don't do anything. कुछ साल के बाद तो ये भी दिमाग नहीं रहेगा. आधा दिमाग तो टीवी ने खा लिया, आधा ने साइंटिफिक डिस्कवरीज ने खाया. Having known all that and creating bombs, beating each other after 200 years, again the original intelligence may come up. Predictions. Original artificial intelligence, not the pure consciousness. Consciousness, realization is the ultimate goal of all beings. Then, very, very sublime shloka coming up. Mat buddhartho jagat shabdo vidyate paramamrutam mat buddharthastu nastyeva tamaham shabdakadapi. Mat buddha artha. When I, with my upadhis, have awakened and accepted myself to be an existing jiva. That's the meaning of Mad Buddha Artha. For him, Jagat Shabdaha Vidyate. And this Jagat is Vidyate Paramam Rutam as so solidly real. Like as long as the dreamer is real, for him the dream world is real. Then Mad Buddha Artha means Aham is accepted an individuality. Immediately the idam is definitely there. Contrast. Opposite to इधर to this idam is aham. aham के contrast में idam होना ही पड़ेगा. On the other hand, tat buddhartaha to the ones who have awakened to the tat means the tad vastu, the pure conscious self, in which I, the individuality, is dissolved with all my upadhis. Tad buddhartastu na asti eva. This whole jagat not there. Tvam aham shabda kadapi. Even you and I play duality also, ahamidam duality also. The one who awakens to that tad vastu will not see it. That is the meaning of it. Hmm? So Jagat is taken as real when I give importance so much to me. Through the devotion and the wisdom, when the I is zerofied, then the whole Jagat is found to be not there, accepted to be projected. Trickish way of saying these things as we proceed, repeatedly such things come, our intellect start accepting them. May we have utmost sincerity, regularity, desire to understand these, the rest is taken care. Therefore, in our evolution of identity, we rise from the Bhutakasha and Bhutakasha Sthita Panchakosha Krita Van Sharira to Chittakasha and Chittakasha Sthita Ativahika Sharira. Going beyond is Chidakasha Sharira Rahita. Now this whole topic has come because Rama asked question, how did they enter into the Raja's palace? Now the whole question is answered exhaustively. Now the story has to continue. Therefore, Leela Saraswatyau, Leela and Saraswatyu, Akasha Upushasthite, they are in the Chidakasha Dehasthite. Not Chittakasha also, nor Stula Bhutakasha Sthita Stula Deha. Tasmat Leela Saraswatyau, Akasha Upushav Sthite, Sarvage. Sarvage, anywhere they can travel. Paramatma Achhe, they are pure one with that Parama Atma only. Sarvatra apratighe anaghe. Therefore, such pure immaculate souls, sarvatra apratighe. Nobody can do the pratighatana or the obstruction of them. Nothing raw subtle can stop their movement too. They can move because they are with the Chidakasha. Therefore, yatra yatra sada vyomni yatha kamam yathepsitam udayam kurutah tena tad gehe asti gatistayoho yatra yatra sada vyomni, है ना, यथा कामम यथेप्सितम. As per their icha, sankalpa in this chidakasha, they can go, they can rise, they can express in whatever the form they want. Udayam kurutah tena tad gehe asti gatistayoho. Therefore, they could enter into that geha, that gruha of the Raja. So they are not identified with a solid sharira. They have risen above that tadatmya. They are in the Chidakasha sthiti ultimately, but for the sake of Vyavahara, they are in the Ativahika sthiti. So Ativahika Rupena, they could enter. That's how. Sarvatra sambhavati chit gaganam tadatra. See, the pure consciousness is all pervading. Sadvedanam kalasamamananam visari. It is there. Tacchātivāhikamiha hurakudyameva deham katam kaivatam padakim runadhi. So this Chidakasha sthiti, Ativahika sthiti, being so sukshma, who can stop its movement anywhere? Therefore, deham katham ka iva. There is no sthula deha. The tam vada kimrunadhi. What is that which can block the movement of it? So therefore, we in our ignorance took the world to be real, the solid one. Therefore, all the conditions, rules of the solidity apply on us. Are bhai, when through the sadhana we merge through the laya prakriya, etc., all these into the ultimate reality, we can also become such a siddha purusha to be able to move anywhere. Huh? Like Leela kept her body in that kingdom only, in that palace only, in the Antapura only, on that bed palang only. Her Sharira is there, her husband Sharira is there. The same husband is fighting the war now as the Jiva in the next Sharira. When is he born? When he has grown? Where did he become Raja? How come he got so many enemies? War. ये सब हो गया वो इतना जल्दी तत्क्षण में you know. It's a proof. So Leela Sharira is here, but in her Ativahika sthiti, she is everywhere. And she can appear also for others to have darshan. With this Sharira Stula, which is in Antapura, whatever the Prarabdha Kala is there, that will be there. और भी subtle बनाओ अपने बुद्धि को, these things start appealing more and more. Let us struggle as the scientists are probing into the secrets of the nature, making it convenient for human beings. Of course, at the gross body level, you and I also let's probe into the truth, the reality in this way through the Shastras and realize that and understand everything else to be that alone expressed in this way, yet it is nothing is real, that alone is real. Gold expressing as ornament is not real, gold is real. There are no two things, only one thing, the Rupanama Kalpana, that's it. Rupanama or Kalpana. The moment you say Rupanama Kalpana means they are not there. Kalpana का अर्थ ही नहीं है का अर्थ. The never existing Rupanama are projected, which is called as Jagat. Other than Rupanama, the substratum is real. To the substratum, the Kalpana of the Rupanama is called creation. Aha, made this knowledge so tough, to grasp for the gross intellects, the extroverted intellects, the restless intellects, the Bhogasakta intellects, the intellects which are never cultured by any upasanas, any aradhanas, any japa, any of the Guru Shushrusha, any of the Loka Seva in the form of Karma Yoga. ये सब किए बिना अशुद्ध अंतःकरण में, स्थूल अंतःकरण में, बहिर्मुख अंतःकरण में, चंचल अंतःकरण में, देहादि तादात्म्य अंतःकरण में, जगत सत्य के रूप में लेने वाला अंतःकरण में, and towards that jagat desires and ragadvesha full. With such antahkarana, these things are not understandable. Just like the one who is so much addicted to the drugs and drinks, to him tell anything, यार इसे तबीयत खराब है, अच्छे तुम मट्ठा पियो, तुम अच्छा घर ठंडा जल पियो, शरबत पियो, he will not understand. He is addicted to that. So to the one who is addicted to TV and all, tell him, इससे क्या तो दिमाग खराब? No, I enjoy it. I enjoy cricket. मेरे को देखना ही है. He is addicted to that. Everyone as they are addicted and therefore not easily changeable. We are also in our antakarana have so many addictions. Unless we are doing away with them, we will not be able to comprehend, at least intellectually, satisfactorily, convincingly, the Shastra Ukta Tattva. That Tattva alone is real, Self alone is real, Brahman alone is real, Atman alone is real, Chidakasha alone is real. Other than that, everything else, Chittakasha, Chitta Jagat, Bhutakasha, Bhuta Jagat, they are only projected. These things won't be understood. Ha ha. So therefore, the struggle is between these three things. the pure self and our inner antahkarana's impurities, then our projecting and giving reality to the world and getting lost in them. Our work is at all the three levels. One, the projected world should be slowly devalued. Two, the antakarana inside should be cleaned. Three, the knowledge about the self has to be strengthened. We in the class are doing the third one, strengthening the knowledge about the presence of the substratum behind. You, each of you, including me, have to work on my own self or my own antakarana shuddhi ekagrata. At the same time, to the outer world, whatever the slavery I have to reduce. Whatever the unnecessary reality given, reduced. That's why time and again we say this Jagat should have only Dharma Nirvahana Vyavaharika Satta only for us. One more thing, whichever wherever the Jagat is, helpful for our Adhyatmika sadhana. Spiritual sadhana purpose, any Vyavaharika Dharma purpose, only these to the Jagat. No other utility purpose. That Jagat is Bhoga Vastu. I am a Bhogi, I have to have the Bhoga of it. These are all concepts only. When we drop them, that's technically called Viveka Vairagya. When we drop, then our mind and senses are controlled. That's called as Shamadama, leading to the purgation of all the vasanas. That's called as the Chitta Shamana. Antakarana becomes calm, quite pure. And this side, the Tattva Jnana is strengthened. Then slowly we develop or increase the meditational hours and increase the depth in the meditation. When the attempts are done again and again, again and again, again and again. Like a road is laid, 2 kilometers, 4, 5, ऐसे बढ़ाते. The Varadhi of 100 yojanas is made in 5 days there by this Neela followed by or assisted by all others. You can see in Rama and Valmiki, पहले दिन कितने कोस कितने योजना उन्होंने बनाया, दूसरे तीसरे पांचवे. मेडिटेशन में भी daily we go a little deeper, deeper, deeper. Then the deepest when we go one day, it starts, the spark starts happening. Repeatedly when you touch it, it becomes more conspicuous, obvious. Then slowly, slowly, that is real, this is not real. We come to know. Slowly stay in the reality. Why do you come to slum area when you are given a gated community to stay? Stay in that being the self. Don't fall down to Chittakasha, Chitta Jagat, Bhutakasha, Bhuta Jagat. In this way, iti आर्षे वासिष्ठ महारामायणे वाल्मीकि उत्पत्ति प्रकरणे लीलोपाख्याने समर समनंतर संस्मृत्यनुभव वर्णन नाम चत्वारिंशः सर्गः. अम्मा, we have done the 40th sarga also. थोड़ा थोड़ा इधर उधर touch किया बस. Otherwise, this sarga is enough for deeply ponder and realize the self. If you want to skip all the further classes, which I'll have on 27,500 shlokas, if you want to skip them, ये chapter को पढ़ के realize हो जाओ, then you need not. The power to give us that jnanam is there very much in that sarga done. So we have just gone through. We will continue tomorrow. Bhranti Vichara Varnanam in the 41st sarga. This is also solid one with 68 shloka. Minimum 7-8 days we will study it. Let's see. As the Prabhu's anugraha is there, so it happens. We can pray also. Hey Bhagwan, whatever the Shravanadhyana we are doing here, may that knowledge always be in our chitta. May we start living that knowledge LIVING. Accordingly, our samsara should keep on getting reduced and our drishti of the tattva should keep on growing. Sarvam Ramarpanam Vasishtarpanam Om Purnamadaha Shrutimate Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanam Astu. That's wonderful, friends. Now come, let us do the Laghu Vakya. Hari Om.